Okay. Now I get to switch to bad news again. Okay, so there's a book I'd really recommend you read if you want to know more about this. The concept is called genetic entropy. So genetic is having to do with the genes, the DNA that I was just talking about, which is really the instruction code that makes us put together the right way. So you don't want typos in that instruction manual, right? And entropy is a process where things break down. It actually has to do with things kind of fizzling out and diffusing apart. And so when you put those together, it's the breakdown of our genetic code. So really encourage you to read this, but I'll give you the kind of summary. So actually, let's start here. So the way this works is the DNA strand actually has a digital code along it. And every time you have something like a gamma ray, will not turn you into a Hulk. It will, in fact, just knock out some of these letters. And then when they're put back in, a lot of times they're a typo. And so typos are bad when you're depending on it for life. So if you look in the Bible, you have another boring genealogy that happens after the flood. And if you just plot out by generations and how long each person's lifespan was, you get this very sharp drop in lifespans in the first 8 generations after the flood. It's not immediate. You have people that go from, Noah still lived a full life of 960 years, I want to say. And you go down to 600 years and the 400-year lifespan. I mean, 400-year lifespan is still not shabby, don't get me wrong. But it's not what we're at. And then basically it flattens out. And it flattens out at about 120 years. So it turns out that this is caused by a radioactive environment, which gives you a much higher mutation rate than normal. And at the same time, we have a population bottleneck. You start off with Noah's family. We're looking at 3 breeding couples, and then growing out of that bottleneck. This is exactly why nowadays you're not allowed to marry your sister and have kids. Why we think this is creepy is because when you have these random mutations, marrying people that are closely related to you, which they would have had to, they're all the same family, means that the children don't come out quite right. It's like a photocopy of a copy of a copy. And so you get this mutated population. And I just wanted to mention this real quick. This is from a program called Mendel's Accountant, which is a computer simulation of population genetics. And so we can actually simulate the effects of having a high mutation rate and going through a population bottleneck at the same time. And you get a very similar drop in fitness, where you go from near perfect organism to dropping off. So that's some of the bad news. Okay. Still doing good? All right.